Texas gets another win, and I'm excited. Hook 'em. Was it pretty? No. Was it the best game we've ever played all year? Absolutely not. But this was a rival game. This is a redemption game. This is a on the road game. Like, this is a game we had to win to stay in contention, to do all the things that we're supposed to do. And so we won the game. And there were some ugly things in this game. And at some point I was like, I feel like I'm watching the Steelers play the Ravens, because that's kind of how the Steelers Ravens goes. But we won the game. We took care of business. We did the things that we were supposed to do, and that is winning. I feel like the first half, I got that slow offense back, the Texas offense that I don't like, the slow offense. But at the same time, Arkansas was coming off of a bye week. So that was interesting to see what they did, because they actually looked different, in my opinion, than they did look when I was watching them play before. So Arkansas came ready to play, but Texas took care of business. I will talk about this in another part of my video, but I want to just say on camera how fascinated I am with Texas getting the ball back with 6 minutes and 43 seconds left to go in the game. And they were able to sustain, they never gave the ball back. Like, they never gave the ball back. They got the ball with 6:43 left, and they never gave the ball back. And our running game has been suspect all year, but I'll just leave that where it's at. I'm going to get to the other side of this video and talk and rant about this team. The one thing I want to call out here is shout out to Arkansas for having thick grass and having the grass be thicker than it usually is, because the one thing this Texas team has is speed. And if you have thicker grass and longer grass, and the Texas team can't be as fast as they were, advantage you. I love it when home teams figure out like different ways and different nuances that they can get these teams like off of their thing or whatever, and like kind of mess with them mentally. That's what this is all about. So kudos to them for that. And also shout out to every single Texas Longhorn that is still on the game, or that's still on the team, including the coaches that I talked about in my previous video. And they got the win. They came back and they avenged that loss that happened in 2021. And so this team, in my opinion, is headed in the right direction. Did we just win the Super Bowl? No. Are we going to the playoffs because of this game? Well, not really, but I'm not excited because of the playoffs per se. I'm excited because this Texas team was on the road and they had to gut out a win, and they were able to gut out a win. And I appreciate that. In the third quarter, did I want to choke somebody? And was I like, what the hell is this? Absolutely. But they showed up and they did what they're supposed to do. So having said that, let me just get into the things that I loved. The things that I loved: Colin Simmons, brilliant. Alfred Collins, honestly, might be the MVP of this defense right now. Like, that's not a slight on Jahdae Barron, but like, the way that Alfred Collins is just everywhere. He's just in the way. And to think that we lost Sweat and we lost Murphy, and Collins just continues to step up and make plays. Like, I don't know. This Texas team is headed in the right direction, and it's just really excited to see it. So shout out to Colin Simmons. Shout out to Alfred Collins. And I'm just going to say it here. Shout out to the entire Texas defense. We had a shutout at halftime. And if you don't know anything about Arkansas football, if you don't know anything about why that matters, go look at Arkansas's offense this year. Arkansas's offense in the SEC is a great offense. They've been great against everybody. The amount of points they've been able to score has been a lot, but they could not score points in the first half against this Texas defense. And I don't make these bold statements, and I don't call people elite or trash or whatever, but today, that Texas defense was elite. And I'll leave it at today because I need to see more. But that Texas defense today was elite. And so I'm going to give them credit for doing exactly what they did, because that was phenomenal. The other thing about this Texas defense is they held them to 82 yards rushing. 82 yards rushing. I think that Arkansas was averaging 160 yards rushing or 180 yards rushing. Like, that is phenomenal. This defense came in and they took care of business. Also, shout out to Bert Auburn for making all of his field goals. He made all of his extra points. He made a couple of field goals also. So like, shout out to him redeeming himself. Last week, I didn't know if I should be annoyed with him or not. This week, I'm not annoyed with him. And so that's great. And it's kind of interesting because every single person that I called out that was on this 2021 roster made a play in this game. So it was kind of cool to see that full circle moment and to see that come back around. So shout out to those guys. The other thing is obviously the turnover. So we got a turnover to start the game. Barron, kudos to him for that. Then Alfred Collins knocks the ball loose when Arkansas is driving. And so that impacted the game as well. So that defense is stepping up. If this offense could ever step up and be as consistent as this defense, I don't think anybody could beat Texas. But that's not where we're at right now. So I'll back off of it. But that is that. So shout out to the Texas Longhorns for showing up, showing out. The other thing I'll say that I loved, and I have to call it out, is we got two penalties. We got two penalties this game. Two. Absolutely masterful. It's even great to say that we got 2 penalties when we got the ball back with 6:43 left on the clock and we iced the game. Like, kudos to this Texas team coming out, 2 penalties. Absolutely great. I'm obsessed with that. Keep doing that every single game. I love it. Thank you so much, Texas. Please, like, keep doing that. I love to see it. And then the other thing is we got a holding call. I think we got 2 holding calls. I think our defensive line got 2 or 3 holding calls. Like, excuse me, like, who are we? Like, #1 defense in college football, but we can't get a holding call on the other team's offensive line, whatever. But we got a holding call today. And you know what? I don't even know how many sacks that we have today, but I just know the defense played well. The defense is the least of our worries. Now we got to focus on that offense. Why the fuck does Sark take the ball to start the game? Why does Sark not defer? We keep winning the toss. We win it. We win the coin toss. We win it. And Sark says, we want the ball. No, we don't. We don't want the ball. Steve Sarkisian, if you see this, if anybody sees this, please tell Sark to stop taking the ball on offense. It hasn't worked. Kick the ball off and put your defense on the field. Stop taking the ball to start the game off on offense. Please, this offense is not great. Kick the ball. The offense is, I don't want to say it's not great, but it ebbs and flows. Let's let them ebb and flow and keep them where they're at and roll out that beautiful defense. So please and thank you. The other thing is, I bet you didn't know this, but in football, when a receiver is going to catch the ball in the end zone, if you're the defender, you can actually grab a guy on his shoulders and push him down when he's jumping and it's not pass interference. You didn't know you needed to know that, did you? Obviously, the last thing I said, I was just kidding, but whatever. So the things that I hated, I don't like Ewer's pocket presence right now. I think sometimes he thinks people are closer to him than they actually are. I also don't understand why Ewers doesn't like step up in the pocket or run or scramble for 3 yards, or why he just sits back there stationary so much. It's kind of weird because I was going back through my notes and I realized that at the beginning of the season in the Michigan game, I noted that I didn't like how comfortable Ewers looks just sitting in the pocket. And it's starting to kind of show itself here because he doesn't move out of the pocket. It's weird. It's like, and then when he moves out of the pocket, he literally runs into his own guys. So I don't love Quinn Ewers' pocket presence. He missed a wide open touchdown today, but I will get off that soapbox because honestly, there's not much I can say about it. I know he's going to be the starter. It doesn't really matter how I feel about it, but I'm going to say here, it wouldn't shock me in the playoffs if Sark pulls a Nick Saban and we see some Arch Manning in the playoffs, but I will leave that where it's at. The drop passes, I hated them. Absolutely hated the drop passes. They were a joke. I don't even know what to say. I'm just freaking terrible. The other thing is our running backs, like our running back situation is dire. I mean, it is what it is. It's kind of funny I'm saying it's dire when to end the game, we were able to hold the ball with 6 minutes to go in the game because of our running game. So I don't know, maybe at the beginning of the game, it's just not going to be good. And then over time, it's going to be better because guys are tired. I don't know. I'm not impressed with this running game. And I get it. We lost CJ Baxter. We also lost our third string guy. I get it. But it doesn't mean that I don't have to hate it every single week. So I'm going to continue to say it every single week. The running back ball security has to be like, come on. We got lucky again this game. He fumbles the ball out of bounds. I was going to say out of the end zone. That didn't happen this time. He fumbled it out of bounds instead. If we could get our running backs to have consistent ball security, that would be amazing. So we need everybody, all the running backs to be carrying around footballs on the campus this week because we need to have ball security from this running back position. I don't understand why we don't have it. I understand we're kind of, piecing together some running back situations here, but I need them to have better ball security. That would be absolutely amazing. The other thing I want to call out here is I am a football fan enough to know that part of the reason why our offensive play calling can kind of be blah or why we could stall on offense is because we don't really have a running game. We almost have like a manufactured running game in a way. And I know that and I'm going to recognize that. However, I still don't think this offense should be starting as slow as they're starting. I don't think that you should miss wide open receivers. I don't think that receivers should drop balls when it hits both of their hands. So there's a lot of things that are happening here with this offense. And yes, I could blame all of it on Ewers. It's actually not all his fault. There was probably 3 or 4 drop passes that I specifically remember. There were times where we were trying to get our running game going and it just didn't happen. We started moving backwards. So there's a lot of moving parts. But right now, this offense, the offense I saw today was the offense I saw pre-bye week. And I don't want that offense. I want the new offense. I want the Florida offense back. I want the Michigan offense back. I want the Yeah, those are the offenses I want back. Those are the only ones I will accept, is those offenses. The random thing I just want to call out, and I just want to give like a special shout out to, is the fact that, and I know I've said it before and I've harped on it, but we got the ball back with 6:43 on the clock and we never gave the ball back. That is one of those football stats that will never show up and people will never notice and will never realize how great of a deal that was. But we got the ball for 6 minutes and 43 seconds and Arkansas never got the ball back. They had 3 timeouts and the 2-minute timeout or whatever they're calling it, and they never got the ball back. So kudos to Texas for going into Arkansas, keeping our program on an upward trajectory. Are we where we want to be right now? Absolutely not. But we're winning games. We're going on the road. We're doing the things we're supposed to do. We're handling business. We're 9-1. We're where we want to be in the SEC standings. We're where we want to be for the playoffs. So we're right where we're supposed to be. So it is what it is. Sometimes the games are going to be like this. I'm okay with these games. You know how I always say, I don't care if I win by 1 point. I don't care if I win ugly. I want to win the game. We'll figure out the rest later, but I want to win the game because you can't fix a win or a loss. Win or a loss is win or a loss. But I can fix the run game, how we look, and all those things. So I am going to end this video here like I always do. In all of these videos, I'm going to rant on the other side of that. We won the game, so I'll be excited that we won the game. I'm super excited to see how this team continues to evolve, and I freaking hope to sweet baby Jesus, the right offense shows up because I don't like this one. I want the old one back. But as always, hook 'em.
The 3 things I'm going to be looking for as we head into the season. So the first thing is Ryan Wingo. I don't know where Ryan Wingo has gone. Ryan Wingo has gone missing in this offense, and it's a little bit concerning to me. I feel like some of the players on this offense, it's a long season. This is kind of the end of it, and we're getting ready to hopefully be in a playoff and hopefully have a run into the playoffs, and I need us to have all of our receivers ready to go and ready to be used. So I don't know what's happening with Ryan Wingo, but I'm just calling it out here because I noticed it, and it's something that I'm kind of concerned about depending on what the issue is. The other thing I will say that I'm going to keep an eye out on is this running game. How do we keep manufacturing runs? What does this look like? What does this look like? What are we doing? What are we trying to do? Because I think we're on the right track. We just have to continue to grind it out because it is what it is at this point. You have what you have and you have to figure out ways to make it work. And then the last thing I'll say here is this offense starting slow. This offense starting slow is going to come back and cost us, and we cannot continue to do that. This is one of the reasons why we lost against Georgia. We came out, we started super slow. We cannot afford to start super slow. We have to come out and we have to be ready to go. And that is why I don't understand why freaking Sark does not kick off the ball. I don't understand why he wants his offense to get the ball first. It has failed multiple times. Sark, start kicking the ball off to the other team when you win the coin toss. Anyways, I will get off the soapbox. Texas is 9-1, and it is what it is. And I will be back next week to talk about Kentucky and tell you all the things I'm thinking about when it comes to Kentucky. If you haven't already, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, comment, all the things. And as always, hook 'em.